Hello everyone, huge news to report on today as Ripple has announced a $500 million investment into its company from Fortress Investment Group, Citadel Securities, which we're going to be talking about, Pantera Capital, Galaxy, Braven Howard, and Marshall Wallace. And this now puts them at around about a $40 billion valuation as a private company. One of the most valuable private companies, in fact, in the world. Now, this is huge for a number of reasons. We're going to explore them in this video. And then we're going to finish things off. As it's been a bit of a turbulent time in the cryptocurrency space from a price point of view, with a bit of price analysis. And I'm here to tell you that everything to me seems A-OK. I believe this is just a pullback for the cryptocurrency space. And ultimately, higher ground is ahead of us. You know, I am still literally 300% plus up on my XRP since I started investing in. And I know many of you guys are too. So maybe it's easier for us to come out and say something like this, given where we accumulated it. But I do truly think that brighter days are ahead of us. And actually, I really do see XRP, and hopefully in this video it becomes apparent why, playing a major role in tomorrow's financial system. Distributed ledgers play a fundamental role in what's coming. And I think XRP is unbelievably well positioned. And today's announcement with the likes of Citadel Securities, which we're going to be talking about who they are and why this is such a big deal. You know, this is Ken Griffin's kind of company, actually are kind of giving their stamp of approval to Ripple, which is dedicated to XRP. In fact, it's the secret source of Ripple, as it were. Let's dive over to the announcement. And this is from Brad Garlinghouse, the man, the myth, and the legend himself. 2025, without a doubt, has been an incredible year for Ripple and a record year for crypto as a whole. Although we have a couple of months left, this announcement feels like the cherry on the top of a mountain of good news. And we've covered all the good news that has sort of plagued Ripple this year. Despite perhaps lackluster price action for the crypto space as a whole, really since last November, Ripple as a company has just gone from strength to strength to strength and really is sort of solidifying themselves at the heart of the financial system, preparing to sort of be unleashed on it, as it were. So today we announce a $500 million investment in Ripple from Fortress Investment Group, Citadel Securities, which we'll be talking to you guys about in a little bit more detail, Pantera Capital, Galaxy, Braven Howard, and Marshall Wallace at a $40 billion valuation. This investment isn't just validation of Ripple's growth strategy and business built on the foundations of XRP, but also a clear bet on what the future of crypto will look like. I'm very proud of what we've built and all that's to come. And if you think about Brad Garlinghouse, if you think about the other kind of execs over at Ripple, they have a major incentive to make XRP successful in the same way that incentives are given to higher-ups at companies, public companies via stock. They have an incentive to make that company successful so that they can increase their own valuations. XRP, as far as Ripple, is very much the same story. Certainly with Brad Garlinghouse, you know, I think Brad, Chris are effectively going to be some of the richest individuals in the world when XRP gets to where I believe it's going. This is from Ripple themselves, and we're going to dive into the article in just a second. Swell 2025, we have closed a $50 million strategic investment at a $40 billion valuation, led by Fortress Investment Group and Citadel Securities. They go on to say $95 billion plus in total Ripple payment volumes, $1 billion plus in RLUSD stablecoin market cap, which is huge. It's just shot up and is only going to continue. 6 strategic acquisitions completed in just over 2 years. 25% of shares repurchased. 3x growth in Ripple's prime business. 75 regulatory licenses globally. This is the momentum building the internet of value. Let us now dive over to the Ripple kind of official announcement on this. It says that Ripple announces a $500 million strategic investment led by Fortress and Citadel Securities, valuing the company at $40 billion following record growth. Ripple, the leading financial technology company that offers crypto solutions for businesses, today announced the $500 million strategic investment at a $40 billion valuation from world-class institutional investors, led by fund managed by affiliates of Fortress Investment Group, affiliates of Citadel Securities, Pantera Capital, Galaxy Digital, Braven Howard, and Marshall Wace. Now, what I want to do is just very quickly talk to you guys about what a big deal Citadel Securities actually are and how this is a major stamp of approval on Ripple and ultimately XRP. We're going to look at what's been said. You know, people talk about Ripple. There is no Ripple without XRP. Let me make that very clear. Don't worry, we will make that very clear at the second half of this video. Citadel Securities, obviously founded by Ken. This individual writes here, is a US-based market-making firm founded in 2002, headquartered in Miami. The firm serves both retail and institutional clients, trading equities, options, futures, currencies, fixed income, and other products. In its market, Citadel Securities claims to execute on the order of, wait for it, $654 billion in trades per day. It handles a very large share of US retail equity order flows. CS claims about 35% of US listed retail volume on its platform. In the first quarter of 2025, CS reported net trading revenue of approximately $3.4 billion, up 45% year over year, and profits of about $1.7 billion. It is recognized as the largest designated market maker of the New York Stock Exchange. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They just took a share or directly invested in Ripple, which again is built upon what Brad Garlinghouse just said there, XRP. There is no Ripple without XRP. So if they're investing in Ripple, they're effectively giving the nod to XRP, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Let us continue to read this. The investment follows Ripple's strongest year to date, and its recent $1 billion tender offer at the same valuation, underscoring continued confidence in the company's growth trajectory and long-term vision. As Ripple continues its record year of growth, providing liquidity for shareholders and employees remain a priority. The company has repurchased more than 25% of its outstanding shares in recent years, returning meaningful value to employees and early investors, such as, by the way, Peter Thiel. Its most recent tender offer attracted significant interest from institutional investors eager to join Ripple's cap table. The decision to accept the $500 million in new common equity reflects the strategic value of deepening relationships with financial partners whose expertise complement Ripple, expanding global suite of products. This investment reflects both Ripple's incredible momentum and further validation of market opportunity we're aggressively pursuing by some of the most trusted financial institutions in the world, said Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. We started in 2012 with one use case, payments, and have expanded that success into custody, stablecoins, prime brokerage, and corporate treasury, leveraging digital assets like XRP. Today, Ripple stands as the partner of institutions looking to access crypto and blockchain. We're not going to go ahead and read that any further, but this is absolutely huge. And I want to remind people that Ripple really is all about XRP. This is what Brad Garlinghouse had to say when they closed Hidden Road. He says, with today's close of Hidden Road, now Ripple's prime broker, now Ripple Prime, Ripple has announced 5 major acquisitions in 2 years. G Treasury last week, Rail in August, Standard Custody in 2024, and Metco in 2023. As we continue to build solutions towards enabling the internet of value, I'm reminding you all that XRP sits at the center of everything Ripple does. Lock in. And do you not think Citadel know this? Highlights just how fundamental XRP is to their operations. And who has just taken an investment in Ripple? Citadel Securities. amongst other major financial institutions. Let's not go back to 2012 and talk about how Ripple started out as OpenCoin and who was involved in that, like Google, Anderson Horowitz, Founders Fund, so on and so forth. XRP is fundamental to everything Ripple do. Take a look at the XRP price. Okay, all you've done is ran into all-time highs, and you are just pulling back in and around them. I ultimately think this sets up for continuation. We've got $19.27 for XRP. The target and pattern that we gave you and price prediction is still intact from when we gave it down here. And we are still hundreds of percent up on XRP. We think there's hundreds of percents to come. And that is just my own opinion, not financial advice. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I'm going to love and leave you a huge stamp of approval in my opinion. That's it from me. I'll see you in the next.